Ready?
Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noel Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit. Joining me every week is my brother Pedro.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Pedro, creative tech here at Adafruit, and every week we're here to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right. This show we combine 3D printing and DIY werewolves to make inspirational projects. Hello, everybody. Hanging out in the Discord chat room. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us this morning. We'll give some shout outs to everybody in the chat room, and then we'll do the housekeeping, and then we'll jump into this week's project. We have some CAD parts, some tips, some tricks,
some LEDs,
some tricks and treats. It's Halloween today.
No, next week.
We're very close to Halloween. It's the 20th tomorrow.
Sorry, the cold's getting to us.
Yeah, it's cold today.
Cold.
Woo, spooky. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome to the show. Give Pedro a moment to paste all the links and stuff. And then I'll run through housekeeping, and then we'll circle back to the shout-outs. Does that sound fair? All right. Kicking off the show with the freebies. Head on over to free.adafruit.com/free. You'll see all the details that are going on. This week, we have, if you spend $99 or more, you get a half-size Proto. For orders that are $149 or more, you get the half-size Proto plus a KB2040. That's a great keyboard driver. And for orders that are $200 or more, you'll get the KB2040, the half-size Proto, and free ground shipping from UPS in the continental US only. For orders that are $299 or more, you get the free ground shipping, the KB2040, the Proto half-size breadboard PCB, and the Circuit Playground Bluefruit. So check that out. Go to adafruit.com/free for all the details. Head over to jobs.adafruit.com if you're in the market for a new gig. If you are someone looking to help you with your projects, you can do that as well. You can post up a job listing, or you can post up your resume. There are some great ones this month, so check those out if you are interested. All right, it's Halloween month here at Adafruit. There's lots of blog posts, gift guides, and the like that are going out this month. So check those out. I'm really liking the Learn System bundles on the weekly. I see some great posts of some past Halloween projects. Really, really nice ones that I'm even impressed. I'm like, wow, that's a great one. Because this year, not every year we're able to make a really cool Halloween project, but there are some very nice ones in the backlog, so be sure to check those out. You give some shout outs to Paul Cutler for hosting the CircuitPython Show podcast. You can subscribe to that in any of your favorite podcasting services. Just search for CircuitPython. All right, I'm going to circle back to Tunnel View.
Woo! Giving shout outs to everybody hanging out in all of the chat rooms. Good morning.
Hey,
Andy Calloway, Liz, Blood City, DIY.
Good morning, Liz.
Paul Cutler.
Good morning, Paul.
Mike P. Rosin. Vince.
Good morning, everybody.
Modern Day. Mohit. Projects in Dad's Garage. Good morning.
Hey.
Good afternoon, good evening, good night to everybody hanging out all over the world. Let's go ahead and jump into this week's project.
Yeah, this week's project. All right, Pedro, so tell us about, what do you want, the overhead first?
Yeah, I think the overhead. Cool. Yeah, so last week we were talking about prototyping a soil sensor node using WipperSnaper. Brent and Lauren and team did a really good job of implementing a bunch of sensors that I needed for monitoring garden vitals. So if we take a look on the inside here.
All right, we got a snap fit case.
So we got a snap fit case. It is water resistant, so you can mist all over. Definitely don't dunk it though, because that will
immersion. But little spritz of water is fair.
So I did test that out. I was able to have these 2mm holes in here because of, I think the texture on it, the way that the water tension when it falls on there, it doesn't go through the holes. So that's really cool. Nice little like last minute 11th hour type thing I was testing out, and it worked pretty good. I have ventilation holes on the bottom here, and it is it's held up with a stake being the Stemma soil sensor. So this plops right into the ground. This is modeled after some of the cellular like sort of nodes that they have like in farms. Industrial farms, yeah, that's the way that they do it.
Inspired from. Okay.
Yeah. We'll post a link if I can find it on there.
Yeah, those are very expensive and very kind of built to last and withstand. But
yep, comes with like a weekly subscription and all that. But if you're using like one or two, what is it up to 3 devices on WipperSnaper Adafruit IO, it's kind of free.
isn't it just one device?
I think it's one, yeah.
One device, 10 feeds.
So you could test that out if you want to go ahead and play with that. But we got a bunch of sensors on here.
Yeah.
And it made a nice little nest of these using the new Stemma passive hub. So we can connect a lot more. It's mostly because the Stemma soil sensor doesn't have another Stemma connector. A lot of the breakout boards that have Stemma have 2 ports. You can connect one in and then continue to daisy chain them. The soil sensor one does not, so we have to use the hub on here. And I'm using quite a bit of sensors on here, so I'd run out of them, I'd run out of ports quickly. So we have 2 additional ones here, so I could stick like 2 more breakouts in there. So what we got here is like I said, the hub, the light sensor, so you can sort of monitor that, see if you're getting the appropriate light levels. And then on the Sorensen SCD30, we have CO2, we have humidity, temperature, and then another new addition, the LC709203, the battery gauge monitor, so you can monitor the when it's time to change out your battery, which is down here. We have a nice little mesh here, so any of the any of the air can go through here, and you can get accurate readings. On the bottom here, you can see that it is a 66 milliamp hour battery, and that lasts, what was I saying? It lasted 2 days and 40 minutes is what I was able to get out of this. So
40 plus hours.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's with no deep sleep.
With no deep sleep, yeah, correct. So we are going to make
coming. It's in the works.
Yeah, so when deep sleep comes, I'm going to make another version of this where it's nice and slimmer, because some of the smaller plants, I can't really fit this over. All the ones that, the examples that we're using in the video, they're all pretty big plants, so it, size comparison, the ratio, it kind of works out. So I'll make an updated, smaller, slimmer one once we get that deep sleep going. But for now, this works pretty well. I have it going like every minute it's grabbing a feed, but you can have it up to like 30 seconds down up to like 2 hours or more to sort of get like a smoother graph of what the sensors are picking up in the environment. Cool. So I don't know what else we can cover on this. Snap fit mount for the cutie pie, and then everything else is screwed on, so it's nice and secure. Yeah, nice way to make a self-contained little sensor node, soil sensor node.
Making battery-powered cutie pie can go one or two different ways. Do you want to show how you're using a battery on the cutie pie?
Yeah, so we saw this really good technique from is it Deborah?
From Geek Mom Projects.
She made a really cool this USB-C to a JST.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see if I can.
So it gives you the 5-volt power that you need.
Exactly.
You could do a BFF battery friend LiPo charger. That adds a lot of extra thickness.
That much more
girth,
thicker. Yeah.
Because it's designed to like fit on the bottom of it.
And
so
then
it just makes it thicker, and then your snap fit bit won't really work as well.
No, it does. I know. I designed
very
one.
Thick.
So it's the thickness and then the usability. Where am I going to charge this? Am I going to stick another battery in there? Do I have to make a port that is now not watertight to recharge it? So it doesn't make sense to add the BFF on there for that.
So a real quick way to make a battery-powered cutie pie project is to get one of these USB-C connectors.
We do have these in the shop.
And just wire it up to a JST connector.
Yeah, the only thing it doesn't have is the shell, but I guess she uses hot glue.
Oh, right.
And pretties it up with some glitter.
You could use heat shrink as well as another option.
Yeah,
tape,
really good way.
Whatever you like.
Exactly. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at a dashboard. Take a look at some of the data that's coming in from this.
Before I forget, we've reached a milestone with WipperSnaper, over 1,000 devices.
Ooh. Yeah, 1,000 WipperSnaper devices. I think we are about 10 of those.
Okay, 10% of.
I mean, we're in the graphic there.
Yeah. So this is a huge achievement. Shout out to the whole team. Brent spearheading the WipperSnaper team and Adafruit IO.
Freaking amazing.
This is 1,000 registered devices. People are using it, and we're glad to keep hammering at it. So. Congrats to the whole team and everybody out there who's been using WipperSnaper. We really appreciate you guys using it.
It's really quick. Andy Calloway is asking, how about putting a solar panel atop? I've been testing that, but because we don't have deep sleep,
there's a lot of things that
you use up more than you're able to actually charge.
We pitched it to Lamar, and she was like, "Not yet."
Yeah,
so
it is coming.
It's in the works.
We've tried it.
Yeah,
I really wish it worked right now.
Okay.
But it does not yet.
You're hurting Faber's feelings.
Oh, I mean, I have one over there. I can show you the how it is.
Let's get out of this Pi portal. We're stuck in the Pi portal. Let's
go to the dashboards.
Here we are. We're in the dashboard.
So this is monitoring my crystallium and therium, and here we have it's cold out. Well, it's colder outside of a tent.
This is Fahrenheit now. Cool.
Yeah, no, this is Fahrenheit.
Great.
Really good point to bring up. We now have the support. I think we mentioned this a couple weeks before for Fahrenheit and Celsius. So I'm going to look at the numbers and be like, okay, I understand what that is.
So this icon means temperature. What's this one?
That is for the humidity. Kind of low right now. And then we have the battery percentage on there. 13. So I need to go out there and change that out real quick.
Okay. And then this is over time, a chart of humidity.
Yep, over time, so you can see.
What happened?
What do you mean? Oh yeah, what's going on? Yeah, like how did
the
is it getting enough humidity? Is the moisture in the soil, because I can't keep watering it. You can't overwater these plants. You have to like let them dry out. And then the CO2 levels, a really nice thing to have in there to see if they have enough CO2 to make, do some photosynthesis.
This is opposite. You need more CO2.
Yeah.
Bad for humans, but good for plants.
Okay. And there's a couple, you can go to devices and check out the VGI, which is this one right here. You can see right now inside the room what the settings for these are, or what the data that's reading right now.
85 degrees.
That's
Fahrenheit.
so good thing you brought that up. So if you scroll a little bit more, you can see the difference between the what the board is reading and what the Stemma soil sensor on the outside of the case is reading. Okay. So a little bit of a difference. So you can just get as accurate as you can with what is inside the soil. So you get more accurate reading of what the temperature of the plant actually is instead of what the board is giving off. That's why I have both of those in there. And if you go to the little cog wheel, that'll see us on there just so we can see what that is for our international folks. No, just click the
here it is.
Enable it. Do a little drop down for every minute, so it immediately gives you a reading. Update the component, and then bam, right there you can see it's 30.
Okay, cool. So you can use both at the same time.
Yeah, that's super cool that you're able to do that. And then I forget which one. I think one of the bathroom ones has like the light sensor. There's still some.
You want me to move?
Yeah. Go to one of the bathrooms, you can see like just what the light sensor is doing. And where is it? There you go. The TSL 25, 91. And if you go to the graph, you can see how that is all going. So you can use this I know this one, it's because I have the length of it.
For the date, yeah.
So you can kind of track of where the sun is, and you can see a slight movement here as the Earth is tilting back. We're getting a little bit less sun, so you can use this to figure out, do I need to move my plant to like the south-facing window or to the west-facing window or whatever, however you need to rearrange things that require some light.
Cool, you can filter dates, so a date range if you have a lot of data like Vader does.
And here's the part where you can like edit your webhooks or add those in there, or make your feeds public, so you can like have this like on a site or something, or
you can download your data as well if you want to move it somewhere else.
Yeah, so that's super cool. And what else can we cover on this? I think the guide, pretty much.
Okay, right. Let's head over to the guide.
Not too much to this. It's really just the case and then the mount for sticking everything together. And this could be more than just the Stemma soil sensor. The case and all of that could be used for other other what's it called? Other IoT things where you need to monitor vitals of an environment. So
everything's in stock. The ESP32-S2, great chip from Espressive. They have good stock, and we're able to maintain,
Yeah, the reason I love this one over the regular ESP32 V2 is that USB is native on there, so you can drag and drop files over. If you need, I think the other one is dual core. The the CircuitPython ESP32 V2, not S2, does have like a dual core processor. I think it has more memory and RAM, but you would require the web uploader to update your credentials for your SSID or
built-in Spy Flash is great.
Yeah, because it just loads like a hard drive.
Cool. Stemma sensors in stock. It's only $8.
Yep.
It's great. got the hubs and all the various sensors are in stock. It's amazing.
Yep. If when the code or support is added to WipperSnaper for the newest hub that's not passive, that lets you add like 2 soil sensors
Yeah,
onto
it's a
one
multiplexer thing.
Yeah, we'll do another guide up on that, but for now we're using the smaller passive hub. I like it because it's the same size as a lot of the breakouts, the 0.7 inch size, so we're able to fit that inside the mount a lot more compactly.
All right.
And then the battery gauge, super useful, like incredibly useful for being able to know when you need to change out your battery. And yeah, light sensor, anything else you want to add on there. I will make a bigger mount so you can add even more sensors inside there.
All right.
And then a couple of the Stemma cables. Just make sure that when you're trying to figure out how many cables you need, you include the cable that goes from the CircuitPy into the Stemma. So I didn't order enough.
Stemma hub, yeah.
The Stemma hub, yes.
The hub didn't come with any cables, right?
I did not know.
Okay.
Gotta get those.
Yeah, just get your cables.
Make sure you get like one more than you think you need.
Yes. Stock up on those cables. They're in stock.
Yep, and then we're just using like the M2.5 millimeter by 5, M2.5 by 5 millimeter long screws
Yeah,
to
the metal ones.
mount everything
don't
together.
use plastic ones. You're gonna tap some
Yeah.
plastic. You're gonna mess up the plastic on plastic.
Exactly.
All right. Ready to move?
Moving on to the circuit diagram, you can see how everything is connected here. But if you have a different arrangement, whoa, did not load up.
It's just Safari. It's a
There it is.
it's a piece of kit.
You can see the way that I arranged these, but based on your different sensors or your needs, you can figure out which way to actually connect, like what order to plug these into the hub. So whatever is like the shortest distance, I guess. And then you go over to the overhead, you can see how I'm actually, a lot of these cables, you can plan like putting them underneath the board or right here, like between boards. So you can have a little bit more of a cleaner coiled layout, exactly how you want, based on your project's needs.
It seems like most of these two have the same mounting hole dimensions, so you can move them around.
Yeah, you can move
the
it
hub to
around.
be more on the left.
Yeah, so the reason that the reason these are arranged this way is so that we're not covering up the light sensor. So you always got to keep that in mind. Yeah, so that's why the SCD30 is at the bottom. So we
moved away from it, and we'll talk it through it. Is let's say you want this thing to be secured in this case. I was like, oh, add some tabs here, but as soon as you do that, then you're blocking the clearance for your battery to fit in.
Exactly.
So then you're looking at something a little bit more complicated. So that's why we didn't add tabs. And this can free float fine, because guess what? The plant's not moving. And you're not shaking and rocking. So you really have to think about design features. Don't just design tabs and just go and make everything secure.
Yeah,
this is a good example of it doesn't need to be.
I almost added tabs to the sides of these, but as you can see, it's just a little groove that press fits in.
Yeah.
And I think I mentioned it last week. I got an idea from just one of our containers that we like put bread in. And it's like the exact same design.
An extra lip, and that helps as a way to seal it a little bit. Yeah. One good stuff. Okay. Let's go to printing up the case. You're gonna need some supports, I think, for the bracket.
Yeah, the bracket does, because it's double-sided. There's no way to sort of, orient it in any way where it's not going to need the supports. So
supports are great these days, though. So
yeah. I have it already arranged, but if it comes in all funky, it's with the screw mounts pointing down.
Okay.
And then the tabs for the Stemma soil sensor, those are also pointing. I mean, you can see it in the photo there. The only thing you got to do is for the soil case roof, which is the separator between the battery and the rest of the components.
It's like a mesh, yeah.
Yeah, 0 top and bottom for the layers, and 50% gyroid infill for that, so you can let air flow through. And then supports, the same supports I always talk about, with the just giving it enough offset so it's not fusing together.
Okay.
And then the skirts, line count 8, so that everything is sort of
doesn't look like a skirt.
Holding it. Oh crap, you're right. It's a
Brim.
Can we edit that?
Yeah, we can.
Edit page.
Skirts, brims.
Whoops.
Whoops.
Brim.
Anyone call it something else? I can't do this on Safari. It's just unusable. By the way, don't use Safari if you can. I think I can do it. Brim.
There you go.
Cool. I helped. I contributed.
And that just helps keep all of the pieces together so it doesn't get flung off the build plate.
Yeah, there's some. Yeah, it especially helps with supports.
Because when it starts off, it's just, circles.
Yep. All right. Anything else here?
I think that's it. Yeah, just the brim to hold everything together and supports,
questions?
and then the soil case roofing. No top and bottom for that.
Okay. Skim through real quick. See if anybody has a question. Nope, we're all good. Thumbs up.
Now I'm looking at the YouTube. There's some questions there, but not related to this, so I'll get back to those.
All right. Let's set up some WipperSnaper. How do you install WipperSnaper on the Cutie Pie board?
Yeah, so it's literally drag and drop. It'll do a little web-based wizard. So you'll type in what device you have. WYSIWYG.
WYSIWYG.
In this case, we're doing the A32. Yep. It'll take you right through there to get the firmware that you download. You double click on, for the S2 anyway, double click on the reset button. It'll go into the boot loader for that.
Yeah.
Goes up as a hard drive. I'll say Cutie Pie boot. You drag and drop that guy over. And as soon as it's done copying, pretty much done. All you got to do is set up your secrets file. That's a little JSON file that just has your Wi-Fi access point, and then your password and account for Adafruit IO.
Cool. This has happened over 1,000 times now, which is cool. All right, and then actually building your
dashboard.
Dashboard?
Yeah. If you scroll down, there, it'll just give you through how to actually set all that up. You have some nice GIFs to
walk you through it,
show you adding the components.
Cool, and this is up to you folks, like what sensors you want to add and
based on
how
the ones that are supported.
Yeah, how soon you want to get a reading.
Yeah, which there being so many added, you just did a batch of the 3D ones for all the new ones going in.
I have another batch to do.
They're always being added.
Okay, so that's it in a nutshell, really.
Moving on to assembly, we're going to start off with the Stemma soil sensor. We have a nice little case for that, really to help you when you are putting inside the soil, so it doesn't go all the way in, and then it's covering up a lot of the components with a little vent hole too, so you can still get some readings through that. And those are snap fit together. That's one of the only snap fit parts on there.
Other than the top lid.
Oh yeah. And then that is once you plug in the cable, that is threaded through the bottom of the main case.
Cool. There's two mounting tabs to secure the case to the bottom of the case.
Once that is done, there are some little raised, like a raised chamfer along the side so that the wires don't get kinked. So make sure that you place the wire like in between those two, and then place the battery right on top, and then put it to one side, and then put the flooring on there, or roof. Sorry, I don't want to keep calling it flooring. Separator.
Divider.
Yeah, divider. Battery divider. And there is one of the corners is shorter to allow the cables to pass through. And
in the same spot.
Yeah, it's just like one scroll up. You can see there, it's you're facing it, it'll be like the left side. But if you want, you can change that up if the orientation is different than what you need for your project.
Okay.
And then it's moving on to mounting up the Cutie Pie. It's the same snap fit corners. So place it in like at an angle.
Slightly flex it so that the clips go underneath the PCB.
Yeah,
the PCB.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because do that first. Because otherwise, if the boards aren't on there, you're not able to flex it anymore. Okay. So do that first, and then mount all of the other ones.
Screws.
And these are all just M2.5 by 5 millimeter long.
Yep.
You can arrange those. Just make sure that the Stemma ports are all in the correct orientation to make the wiring as short as you can, and so you're not coiling so much wire.
All right. When you build this thing.
Moving on to the battery gauge. First, you got to set up your USB-C connector, like we were saying before. Shout out to Geek Mom for figuring out how to do a really nice tiny connector.
There's
ground
labels
and volts
and symbols on the PCB. You just barely make them out, but they're there.
Yep.
For positive and negative.
Yeah.
Ground and voltage.
And we just clipped off a JST extension cable, measured how long I needed to be.
We also carry ones that are pre-tinned and stuff like that, so you can use that one.
We didn't have as many, so I used the extensions.
I know. I use them a lot.
And then, yeah, wire everything up, connect the battery gauge.
Yeah.
And then that's pretty much it. Just place it inside, make sure all the coils are nicely wired so they're not covering any sensor that needs to see light.
Yeah, right.
And that's pretty much it. Place it in there, in your soil, and there you go.
I like this translucent. You can kind of make out the LED lights that are the status LEDs. They can still shine through.
Yeah, the translucency was for the light sensor, so we get some sort of light coming through. So
it just makes all the lights green.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. You can put it in a different clear pigment, like clear.
Yeah.
Double clear.
And of course, change around your the color of your case just so you can be able to identify them or write it on there, because we have 4 of these set up and I only know it by memory which is which. And that's pretty much it.
Cool.
Nice compact soil sensor
First
node.
soil sensing WipperSnaper project. So.
Yep, very handy. Was able to see last night.
Sensors.
I think it dropped down to like the 50s, and then you can see on the dashboard inside of the tent it got down to like 65, which is like I think the lowest that the plants can go on.
Which one? Climate? Crystal?
The crystalline.
All right, here's our dashboard. Are we looking at temperature?
Yeah, you can see there that it drops at right at 3. Yeah, 3 a.m. is when it gets like the coldest.
Oh, you see the gradual slope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 66, 65. That's like right at the border of
so cold.
what a jungle plant can handle.
A jungle plant? Oh, that's humidity.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Any questions, folks?
All right, super cool.
Would it work if you extended an ACL to the sensor?
It would. That's how I was using these for the longest time. So yeah, that definitely works. The whole thing here was just, combining it all into one. Otherwise, that's exactly what I was going to do until Brent was like, no, let's do this way, which is for me a little bit more less things hanging out, by the plant, because I got to miss these guys.
Sure, fully closed.
I would have to take them out, move them out of the way so that the boards don't get fried.
Yeah, that's a good thing to think about.
But you can do that, yeah. That's what I was doing with until the battery gauge was added to WipperSnaper. That's what I was doing, because you just plug in the USB battery. And then let's see on the Twitch, Facebook, just checking all the comments. People want to check out that hipster ghost.
All right, let's
move on to what are we prototyping?
Yeah, so Halloween is among us. We were tasked with the idea of making some updates, some new shapes for these neon-like NeoPixel strips. These are great. They're skinny and they're flexible. And what we've been doing is making different 3D printed signs that have little grooves, little channels, where you can just simply press fit the strip into create these shapes. What we're doing differently here, though, is we have 2 different strips that are being controlled individually on different pins, different GPIO pins, so that we can separate the animations. Using CircuitPython and the LED animation library, you can do sequential or grouped and synchronized animations. So here you have the chasing LED animation that's doing the ghost outline, and then the eyes are just doing a blink. So that's really cool. So let me show. That's just the demo video. I added some more animations, just kind of showcase the different ways and arrangements that you can do with the LED animation library. So we got the blink. This is doing the LED chase. And then we fade in where we're just animating this segment. This is just pulsing, white. And you have complete control over the colors. You have lots of different stock animations you can play around with. You have the pulse, you have chase, rainbows, sparkle, comet. This is comet right here that's coming back and forth. You have full control over like the tail, the spacing, the speed, the period of how long it dwells for fading. Very, very nice. It's hard to see the colors in the overhead. They look so vivid, but they're washed out here.
It looks like real neon, except having that heat and the...
Yeah, it looks even worse on this camera. Like the color is completely washed out, but it looks very vivid. You have full control, like I said, over the colors and stuff. Beautiful. So the way you're able to... You've done a guide page where you clip away a little bit of the sheathing to reveal the pads. And there's a little particular on how to splice these. Every 3 pixels is a channel, and you can almost kind of see.
And you're splicing just the top of it too, so you're not going all the way through.
There you can just about make out where the strip you're allowed to kind of cut, and you're also allowed to splice into those pads. Here is an example of not having access to it, so you just have to be careful with that. But we'll cover all that in the guide. I'm working on a couple different shapes. So we have the Hipster Ghost, which could also be a mask, I guess, if you design it in some sort of way. That'd be kind of interesting.
It's a pretty good costume.
Right. This is your costume. Maybe you can make a mask out of it. And then we have Phil B, a residential werewolf. I had the idea of making a werewolf with the moon. So the moon will have its own animation and the werewolf will maybe pulsing or something. But this was a very difficult shape to do because of the very sharp edges. One of the things I realized is you really have to be careful with your bend radius.
I think you could cut those and then have
you could. I don't want to. It's a lot of work because you have to.
Totally is.
If you cut it here, guess what? That might not be the cut point. You can't just cut anywhere you want with these strips. You have to be very particular because you will mess up your strips, and I have, and it hurts.
It hurts because it takes a while to get a shipment of new ones in.
That's like, exactly right. We only have like 60 left in stock, so everyone's gonna buy them up. But look, there's the werewolf. I also have what other design do I have? A Grim Reaper, which is a cute little Grim Reaper. I think I'm gonna do Frankenstein, and I also have these like vampire lips, kind of like the Rocky Horror Picture Show lips, but with like vampire teeth. So those are all options, but it's been fun to kind of create these shapes in Fusion because you have to think about, like I said, the limitations of these strips. You can't just make any old shape, which I wish you could. So that is what we're prototyping. This will be next week's project. A little late to the game with Halloween.
No,
but that's how it is.
Isn't Halloween on
next week?
Monday? Next week, Monday? Yeah, you'll have 3 days.
Yeah. These take about 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours to print.
They're pretty big.
It takes up the full bed. Yeah, it's
the scale.
300 millimeters by 300 millimeters is the max of our bed. So I reduced that down to 280 by 280 millimeters. If you're looking at inches, that's about it's 11 inches. So when I'm designing, I always make a big sketch that gives me the idea of the dimensions of my bed, and I just try to keep within those bounds because that's the max bed for these printers. It's 300 by 300 millimeters. So that's the Hipster Ghost. Fun. And the LED animation library is awesome. All this is already documented in the LED animation learn guide. Yeah.
I thought we had a Lars emoji. Andy says, make one of Lars.
Yeah, that'd be funny with his teeth and everything. His real teeth. Yeah, it's been challenging though to make a shape, to come up with a shape that's like going to conform to this limitation of being very bendy and curvy.
Yeah, I like this one because it looks like the Snapchat logo with glasses on.
Yeah, the Snapchat logo, his arms are a little bit more like this, kind of like he's trying to scare you. This one's more like, I want a hug, give me a hug, that sort of thing. So he's like a friendly hipster ghost. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I like use it every day and it didn't dawn on me.
That's funny, yeah. Yeah, and I try to be a little bit different here with try to be a little bit asymmetrical.
Yeah, I like the waviness on it.
Yeah. Man, it really washes out on the overhead, but
it looks so much better in real life.
It looks better over here. Like these, as you can see, these are the previous shapes that we did.
It's a little.
We did a cat, a lightning ball, and the Blinka.
Yeah, it looks all white in there, and it's all rainbow.
Yeah, it looks beautiful colors. Yeah. Yeah, so let me go to the not the learn guide, but the neon strip. I type in neon skin, and bam, right there, neon skin. That's the search term. Product skinny. ID 4310. It's very hard to capture this on camera, as you can see. Even in here, it's difficult to see the vibrance of the colors, but boy, are they vibrant. Yeah, and that's where you can see the cutoff right there on the side of the strip. Yeah, we've used it in a few projects. Pedro, you did a Lego sign where you 3D printed some Lego clips to hold it, and then we also have some Mickey ears. So those are a couple of other ideas and stuff with these neon strips. Very, very fun. Meter long. It's 1,000 millimeters. So, yeah, 1,000 millimeters. Oh boy. All right, and that's what we're prototyping. Woo-hoo. Let's move on to a shop talk. If you go to the Adafruit CAD parts, you'll see we got a lot of commits this week. So last week, the latest one we had was the Metro M4. This week, we have all of these. And what I did was I grabbed all the screenshots from all the boards and threw them in iMovie, Apple's software thing, and it automatically generated, AI generated? No. It's just a gallery of these screenshots. So these are all the different boards that have been added this week to the Adafruit CAD parts GitHub repo. We have a slew of accelerometers. We have that new Stemma multiplexer. We have a Feather OLED. We have a TFT display. We have the Adafruit ADA logger, Blast from the Past 32U4. The VML 7700 light sensor was added. The Beano 055 was added, like the breakout, and also the Stemma breakout version of it.
Nice.
The LIS3MDL feather wing accelerometer, the LIS3MDL accelerometer, and the ADA logger with the RTC, so it has that coin cell thing, and then this high current sensor, DC high current sensor. So check those out. Those are all in the GitHub parts repo.
Was this request from Brent?
Sure. Everybody requests.
Ah, okay. I was going to say,
I've been getting requests from a lot of people on the team, which is great.
Nice.
Feel free to keep adding your requests.
Yep.
Just one thing, one caveat, just try to segment your requests. So one issue per part helps me out, because a lot of times,
don't
not a lot
combine
of
them
times,
all.
I've had one where a person was, they submitted like one issue, but with like 4 parts.
Oh, yeah.
And I just have to keep going back to that same issue. So don't do that. Just give me one part, one issue. That'll help me out. So shout out to everybody who's been submitting, requesting. All right, and that's Shop Talk.
Ooh. All right.
Community Makes. Every week we find a part designed from the community and we 3D print it. This week, failed.
No, it works after a while.
It worked after a while. People really like, we were getting really good comments on like, hey, if Adafruit fails, that means it's okay too. And yeah, we fail all the time.
Yeah, some of the times when I don't include the fail, it's because like the camera didn't capture it. But,
okay. Well, you try to capture as much as you can. So these are little flying ghosts. They're like finger puppets, but you could also print them big. And I'm scratching my head.
Perfect for the kids, because then you can do the...
We got ghost on ghost action.
That's pretty much it. Goes in the arc, very nice sculpture, I think. It looks like...
it's a great,
I don't know how I would make
cloth
this.
simulation.
That's what I was about to say, yeah.
In Blender, you can do some cloth simulations.
Exactly.
You ever seen the movie The Frighteners?
Oh, yeah.
The VFX and Chill YouTube live stream, they redid that effect in Blender.
Oh, wow.
Was it Blender? No, it was Cinema 4D.
Huh.
And they're using like, all the cool new simulations, cloth simulations to make a...
It's exactly what this looks like. Like they had like a basic shape down and they just laid the cloth on top, let it drape around, and then froze the time
over the fall off and the gravity.
Exactly,
and all
yeah.
that stuff.
So that's I don't know how to do that in Maya, but this is really good.
Tutorials are out there, my friend.
Yeah.
They're all out there.
Very cool.
With free open source software.
Yeah,
like
and
Blender.
it kind of looks like it's flying. You could put like a little coin cell and a UV LED inside there and give it a little glow. Did I bring that up?
Here is the Thingiverse post.
Oh, there's a couple of
Narnaa.
different...
Narnaa posted these up. They're called Very Little Squeaky Ghosts.
Yeah, a couple of different...
Great renders here.
Angles, positions. You can
like
see,
how it gets its own like graphical treatment. Gracewind
nice.
mini scenery. Just reading it out loud. So a variety of different ones, right? Different poses.
Yeah. I like the flying one, of course, because it looks like it's flying. I was gonna put like some string on it and have it float around, but ran out of time.
Cool. Lots of people are making them apparently. Is
like
this like a whole like kit or something?
Oh wow!
October
I
release.
did not click through to that.
Oh, if you're Patreon, looks like you can get access to all the goodies.
Oh wow, yeah, it's a good thing to support. I love that house.
Yeah, that's very cool. Make a whole complete set.
Huh.
Some makes from the other folks, getting some really good photos. Throw an LED in there underneath. That's really great.
Yeah, it's beautiful for doing a little Halloween setup. Cool. Or, like I said before, finger puppet.
Finger puppet.
Fit an index finger.
I'd love to print
actually,
a
all of them.
really big one and like put it next to...
put it outside.
Yeah, put it outside. That'd be fun. Cool. All right, we have some more community makes. So let's run through those. These were sent to us. And sometimes I find them, like on Instagram. Here we have one on Instagram. This was posted by Instagram user the one and only MIR. Looks like they remade Terraco, which is this guardian robot character from the video game series Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda.
Which finally, Breath of the Wild 2 coming out
Next year.
January, did they say? Or
No.
March?
Maybe. This is great. It's got a little micro servo, a teensy, itsy bitsy.
I'll have it in the other room. I was going to grab it.
A NeoPixel ring? Or no, just an LED?
It's a single, yeah.
Yeah, it's a real
PCB.
pixel ring, actually. Well, their build has a NeoPixel ring.
Actually, no, you're right. It is a ring.
Yeah, it's in there. There it is. And a little magnet to keep it taut. And yeah, so this is a great little build. You can build your own Terraco. Very good paint job.
I was going to say, the weathering looks really good.
Yeah.
And did he put the magnets on the bottom too, so you could shoulder mount him?
Hard to tell.
Look like, yeah, it's right on the bottom of the...
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anywho,
The option is there.
Yeah, very cool.
If you want to wear them around.
All right, next up we have one posted up on Thingiverse. Wait, I already have tabs. Yeah, this is a unicorn horn. This was posted up by Cell Freak on Thingiverse. They printed the unicorn horn in PLA, green PLA. Cool, and there's a video. I guess of the time lapse. Very cool. Looks like it's in mid print. All right, next up we have another make of the pumpkin skull. This thing is getting a lot of makes, Pedro, which is funny.
Oh, we did that last year.
Yeah.
No, a
No,
couple
this
years
is probably
ago.
A couple years ago. So Ivogen posted up their makes of it. They printed it out in this translucent orange and then added some of the 10 millimeter LEDs. I think they're 10 millimeter. So yeah, that's great. And I think we have one last one here. This is the LED skull lantern remix that we did. And Evil Resident posted this up on printables.com. It says, nice model. I added some hot glue in the eye sockets to diffuse the lights. Let's take a look. Yeah, looks great. I like the hot glue. Looks good. Very cool. And that was posted up again by Evil Resident. So check that out. Those are this week's community makes, at least the ones that I saw that were sent to me. And that's it.
All right. It's posted.
Cool.
All right, I think that is it for the show.
Yeah, a little bit earlier, which is nice. Give everybody a nice break for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And do we want to talk about the products that were just added?
Which ones? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, we got breaking news, folks. You guys ready for it?
We usually tell people to wait, keep it in your cart until the
Check it out, folks.
so the coupon code is available. But I don't think they're gonna last that long. So
if you've been filaments,
if you've been waiting for the nudes,
beep, beep, beep.
Go fill
This
up your
just in.
carts.
Boop, boop, boop. All of the nudes are in stock right now. All of these can be yours
yay!
for a low price of $4.50.
The prices range
For warm white. Blue ones are like,
$4.50 to $7.50.
You're getting sleepy. Wait, no. You're getting anxious. You want to purchase more LED filaments.
I mean, they look so.
So
good.
they're all in stock.
There are more projects coming up with them. So
Yeah, as soon as we can get our hands on them. We'll do some stuff. So yeah, these are in stock now, folks. Get them while they're hot. We appreciate everybody getting them from Adafruit.
Remember, don't wait for the coupon code. Get them now.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know what else just to say. Yeah,
I think that's it. That's all. That's all we gotta say.
They're back. If you signed up to get notified, hopefully you get notified today. But yeah, tonight we have Ask Engineer and Show and Tell. So it's time to close down the show. With that, we invite you to come on Show and Tell. I hope to see folks there. We'll be there tonight as well. Going to be hosted by Lamar and Phil. It's 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And then shortly after, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we have Ask an Engineer, full hour with Lamar and Phil, open source hardware news, new products, Ion MPI, and more. So come on, Show and Tell. We'll see you there. John Park's workshop is tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Fridays are deep dives with Tim Foamy Guy, every 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern.
I think Scott's coming back like in a month or two, so
yeah. I need a new slide for Lair Belair. I completely forgot. This week I have a Lair.
Yeah.
So check it out.
Whoops.
You've already seen it if you're into the Lair Belairs. From the Desk LADYADA streams happen a little bit later now, on Sundays though, so you can watch those when they come.
Earlier though, like, what is it, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. So
I was like in bed and look when the thing happened.
I completely missed it.
Yeah. It's all great though. Not newsletter. Mondays is the CircuitPython weekly. You can check that out live on the Discord or catch it on the archive every Monday at 2 p.m. And then circle back to Wednesdays in the morning with me and Pedro every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. This is episode 300 and XXX.
I forgot.
We're going to hit 400 someday.
378.
Okay, I haven't updated that though. So we're probably at 380 or something.
Whoops.
So 20 more weeks and we'll be at 400.
I'll take a look at the playlist.
Yeah.
All right, and with all that said, don't forget to make a great day.
Make a spooky day.
Make a spooky day.
All
See
right,
you later,
see you guys
folks.
tonight. Bye, everybody.